All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. My name is Gabriel Brent, and today we are doing another swing pub. So let's go ahead and get started here. First off, we are going to be looking at the Aussie CAD. And just so everybody's on the same page, I'm using 3 different time frames here. Weekly, daily, and 60-minute, as we're looking at more of a swing trade type of position. The idea being that even though we can use all 3 of these multiple time frames on one chart with the Yapazone system, we want to make it hopefully easier for you to follow along as we're doing so. Okay. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Yapazone's trend following system, please check out the website and be more than happy to steer you on the right direction as to what we're looking to do. And again, we're just trying to keep it really, really simple. We're trying to buy and sell pullbacks in the direction of trend. Looking at the weekly chart here, we've been talking about this range for the past couple weeks as we've seen the weekly and the daily level down there, and we know that we're in a range, okay? And that's exactly what the Elite software says here, up and rangey, okay? So as we're looking to get on board here, it would be really nice to buy low and sell high. As of last week, we thought that price looked like it could come down here just a little bit more, and it looks like it is coming down here just a little bit more. So I would still say that we're really not at the bottom of the range yet, so let's just wait longer, okay, until we're at the bottom of the range. So as far as the entry time frame goes, there really is no entry time frame for us because we're in the middle of a range, and we're really looking for this thing to go further to the downside first before we do anything. Moving over to the Aussie Swiss. We have a new high up here as of this week, so we saw a little level get drawn out here. We didn't really get much of a bounce off of it, very, very little, and now it's touching the level just above it. So I think that's the interesting play there, you know. As we break that down into the daily chart, we're looking at this thing being up and trending now as it's broken outside of the range, okay? But realize that there is this big weekly zone just above us, you know, at the very highs here, all right? So as we balance those two out, I still want to be buying low and selling high, but low and high seem to be shifting right now, okay? And because they're shifting right now, I think that it would be good that we just make it as simple as possible for us to do this. And the way that I would think the safe way to do that would be is to wait for the pullback to this level, okay, and then back up, all right? Let price kind of reconfirm this level for us, okay, and then take it to the upside here, all right? But we have broken outside of the range, and now we're starting to trend again to the upside. Will the weekly level hold again? Notice that this weekly level is blue, that's just above us, okay? Because it's blue, it means it's weak, okay? So let's just see if we can't get a little jog to the downside and then up. So I'm going to actually draw an arrow to the upside here.
William, I'm going to speak about the RCN for a few minutes. Here we are on the weekly chart. As you can see, the RCN just retested the weekly supply zone here. It's in blue, came down, and now we're coming back up to retest it again. The overall trend on this Aussie yen market is currently in a big broad range, and we're pretty much at the top of the range again. We're not quite in the weekly zone yet, but we're about to get there. Let's take a look on the daily and see what's going on with it. And as you can see, Gabe has some highlighted areas here on the daily. Looks like we just kissed this daily supply zone here. We got a reaction off of it. I don't know if we're going to close below the candle that happened prior to it yesterday. But we got a nice red candle, nice reaction off this daily supply zone. If we do get a close below this bar that happened just yesterday, I think we might be coming back down from this zone. Nice bearish engulf pattern off this candle that happened prior yesterday. We can come back down. Gabe has it illustrated with his blue arrows, so he has the right idea as well. The overall trend is down and rangy. Big broad range on the weekly. Nice range here on the daily. Back at the top of the range. So we should expect price to fall from this zone. If we get a close below this yesterday's open, or if we get a close tomorrow below yesterday's open, I'll expect this thing to continue to come back down to the bottom of the range. You can see even on the entry, see we haven't started downtrend yet, but it looks like we might be starting one here soon. So let's just see what happens. We'll sit and wait and see what happens. Next market, Aussie Dollar. Take a look at it. Here on the weekly, you can see price is up in a weekly supply zone. Got a reaction from it already, but looks like we made a new high this week, so looks like we're going to continue the uptrend. Let's take a look at the daily. And here on the daily, you can see we made a higher high 2 days ago. Made a higher high, and now we're coming down off this daily supply zone. Gabe has a little check mark trade idea here that didn't quite pan out. Just kept going up. We found new supply up here on the daily, and we're getting a reaction from it now. So it could still pan out, maybe to this zone above the zone he was looking at getting long in. We might get a check mark trade in the next zone up. It could come back down to this zone again, like he has drawn out, and then we can get our check mark trade and get long. So right now you just want to kind of sit on your hands and wait for the long opportunity to present itself, and then get long in this pair, because the uptrend is nice and strong, and we should continue up for a while. So just be patient and wait for the right opportunity to get long in this pair.
You know, and that's the challenging thing, like looking at last week's check mark there. It could have happened. Obviously,
it might still happen.
It just was really, really strong. So very, very bullish type stuff as we're making headway through the weekly and whatnot. So, but
and it could still happen from you know, the most current price action, because it looks like we're getting a 2-bar engulf here from yesterday and today. It looks like we're getting a 2-bar bearish engulf. So we get a close below, and then we might get a retest up and then down. We might find ourselves in that check mark trade idea panning out. But just time will tell, and we just gotta sit and wait patient. But the long, we do want to get long in this. It's just a matter of when. So I want to get long in this. So, all right. Let me
yeah,
get my thoughts on euro pound. All right. Okay. Euro pound. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Wow. Look at that. Whoa. I was expecting a retracement sometime. This thing's been, you know, terror. Here we are on the euro pound, and you can see what's been happening. We got to this fresh weekly supply, and look, we got a nice fall from it. We find ourselves back at weekly demand, and you can see the result from that supply zone, that fresh supply zone. Institutions were waiting for that thing to get there, and finally got a nice retracement, nice correction back down. And now here we are back at weekly demand. So let's take a look at the daily. Zoom in on this thing. Here we are on the daily, and you can see how the retracement is panning out here on the daily. We're back at daily demand. That daily zone's in the weekly zone, as Gabe has highlighted in red here. We have another zone below it, down here where the trender is. So if we beat this demand zone here on the daily, the blue demand zone, we might see price react off the fresh demand zone right below it to find price go back up. It's too early to say that right now, but that's an idea. It's an idea you might want to it's an idea you might want to explore if price gets down there. But we still gotta wait for price to confirm our entry on this. Right now, the most current trend is down off this weekly supply zone, daily supply. But it's counter trend because the trend's still up. So as long as the trend's up, we want to look for buying opportunities. So we might find ourselves getting long here at the bottom of this blue zone, or we might find ourselves getting long here at the fresh daily demand zone down here. Right now we're kind of been in a range for the past couple of days. Market's trying to figure out what it wants to do. Here on the hourly, you can see the range going on here on the hourly chart. Market wants to find out what it wants to do. If it wants to pop from here and go up, or if it wants to continue to go down a little bit and then find another pop to the upside. But we're just waiting. I would just wait to see what happens here. I would wait to see if we get down the bottom third of this blue zone. I would wait to see if we can find buying opportunities down there. If they don't present themselves down there, then we want to wait till we get down to this aqua level and see what happens. And if we beat that aqua level, then we're probably going back down for a while. So that's my thoughts on this pair. Anything you want to add, Gabe?
I think it'd be really nice just to go ahead and draw some of this stuff out here.
Yeah, I never do that, man.
Yeah, oh, that's okay. Just so that I have a, like we can easily look back and say, hey, this is what we're looking for. Like we're looking to retest this aqua level here. Looking for price to stop somewhere right around in this area. So we can shorten it up just a little bit here, but I like that idea a lot. Just keep it real simple, trend follow idea. Know that we have major supply up there. We have enough space, and then you make it happen. So keep it simple. All right, looking at the euro dollar. Euro dollar seems to be following this trend line that I drew in place. Actually, I guess I should start out on the weekly. On the weekly chart, we have a really big thing happening here to where price is looking to come up, and we're going to see how high it goes. I'm seeing uptrend, and over the past week, we've seen a little bit of a retracement back to the downside here, but I'm really not too concerned about it just yet, because that perspective is so big. It's so like that pattern that we found on the weekly. It's a weekly pattern. It's just going to take some time to play out. So, but I did find it interesting, and I drew a trend line from the bottom there, and it feels like it's kind of respecting this level, even though in some areas like it has kind of wicked through this area and things of that nature, but there really seems to be something right along this line here. So it's part of the channel to the upside. And I was just looking at that and noticing that, so I don't mind to see a little retracement back down to this yellow level. I just want to see it continue to go up overall. All right. So if it's hitting the yellow level or something like that, then that represents a really good buying opportunity to me. And you can see like we came down into that level pretty hard and pretty fast. I drew the trend line in here just because, well, I've been watching this over the week, looking for that up type of move, and we'll see if it continues to pan out here or not. You know, so buy low, sell high, keep it simple, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look what happened today, man. That was Draghi. Draghi spoke today.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really say much, but he spoke today. You know, markets react off their speeches.
Yeah, it always
Mm-hmm.
accelerates the movement, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So coming over to the weekly on the pound Aussie, we're still looking for this thing to complete its move down to weekly demand. You can see some interesting stuff here on the daily. Daily still says down. We're getting confluence of levels down here. At that level, we did just break the low of this this little aqua zone that we put into place. There's just a little bit of consolidation there, so nothing major. We were looking for a bounce to this zone up above before continuation to the downside. So it just barely wicked above it. So personally, I really wouldn't mind seeing this thing bounce up there and touch that zone again and touch resistance again before making a new low. Though the false breakout, if you will, I think it helps confirm the idea that price could be coming back up here before it comes back down, because we just engulfed the previous two bars and all that type of good stuff. So we'll just see how that continues to play out, but that's really what we're looking at. I'm going to replace this with like my little down arrow tool because I still feel like that's what's going on here. So if you want to try to take a counter trend up to this level, I guess you could on the daily charts. It's counter trend, you know. That's what it is. And then see what happens up in this range, and then I would be looking for it to come back down again.
Mm-hmm.
So pound Kiwi. This has been one of my favorite markets. I like pretty much all the pound markets. They're just
Mm-hmm.
they're good. So looks like we're still continuing to the downside on the big weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, you know, sometimes it's really hard to sell these pullbacks or to buy the pullbacks, but that's really what I'm looking for. It's just been really, really choppy over the past few days or over the past week, but I really want to get to the short side. So basically, I'm just looking for that price action that tells me that it's going to confirm one of these levels, you know, to the downside. So I don't care where, just let me jump into the trend, you know. And it just hasn't done that at all. So that's really what I'm looking for on that market. Right now, I think it's a little too premature to be jumping into the downside right now. I need some space for a good T1 and a retest of the low. If you don't have that space, then the trade's really not worth it. And your risk reward will be all out of whack, and it's just not worth it. So, William, why don't you take this one?
All right. New Zealand dollar. Here we are, New Zealand dollar, pretty much in an uptrend, making higher highs. Haven't hit any major supply yet on the monthly, or on the weeklies here. It's way up here what, 7,500, and we're still at 6,900 right now. So, but we got our break above the highs of the range, and should expect this thing to continue up. Let's look at the daily. We probably respecting the daily level here on the dailies, on the daily chart. Maybe not. I don't know. Not quite yet, but we're trying to get there. You can see Gabe has illustrated his trend line here, and the up arrow. And right now, what is that? Just getting a temporary sell-off, a little retracement. Should be seeing this thing get back down here, this purple zone, and then a continuation to the upside. So that's pretty much it on this market. I don't really see much else anything sticking out that, of any significance. Just we're looking to get back on the buy side of this market and look to find a nice area to buy it and let it ride to the upside and see if we can get up here to this next blue supply zone before we get another drop back down. I don't know, but yeah, I would just wait to see what price would do once we get back down to this purple demand. This purple demand's kind of weak, but I feel we're probably going to get another reaction from it back to the upside. I don't really see it coming down much further than this purple demand zone somewhere until we get our next pop to the upside. So that's about it for the New Zealand dollar. Just wait patiently for your buy signal and buy it. Nice downtrend though for the past couple days. Nice retracement, but I would look to get long instead of short. Because getting short right now is a counter trend play. It could pan out depending on where you got in at, but right now it's kind of late in the move. There wasn't even was there supply up here daily on the daily? Was there a zone here? No.
No, doesn't look like there's one.
There's no dead zone there. Oh yeah, there's a dead zone there, but it beat it. Took it out. Now we're getting a little reaction back down, but I feel we're going to continue to go back up. So
yeah, we already got it bounce off that level, so now it beat it like you said.
Yeah, making higher highs. So we're going to continue up for a while. Just find your opportunity to get long, and get back on board to the long side. And here we are on the dollar CAD. Whoa, this thing's been nice sell-off. Still going down. Here we are on the weekly. You can see we're in a downtrend. Nice downtrend. Hardly any retracements. Just made a new low this week. There's this yellow demand zone down here waiting for us here at almost 1.22, 1.22, and we're ways from it still. And I expect us to keep going down for at least till we get down here. So, but fresh supply here on the weekly just been made. We just fell from it, and we might find ourselves back up in here before we find our next leg down. Not too sure, but we'll see what happens. Here on the daily, you can see. Come on, open up. Come on, blow up. Why don't you blow up for me? What's going on? There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright, here on the daily you can see, this thing's just been a nice downtrend, trending down. Here we are. Oh, that's why we got a little reaction up. This daily demand, getting a reaction from it. So I expect this to get back up into this daily supply zone. And you can see Gabe has a check mark trade going. He thought it would happen last week up to this zone, but we continued down and got down to this zone. And now I feel like the checkmark trade might play out in our favor here at this fresh daily supply zone here, this fresh daily resistance level. We might have our checkmark trade pan out in our favor here. Move these arrows. Do my Gabe impersonation here. Let's move these arrows.
Yeah, we just have to make sure the risk reward is there for that. But I would love to see something like that happen. You know.
Yeah.
That happen. Again, you know, you just gotta wait for the pullback, and sometimes the pullback isn't what you think it's gonna be. So.
Yeah. The flip flop. Remember the flip flop we was talking about last week? That's where we got a reaction. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mentioned that. Look, keep in mind that we might get a reaction from our flip flop. If not, then we're going to get a reaction from the zone up here, and it happened at the flip flop.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but yeah, we're still waiting for that checkmark trade. Well, actually, it did pan out. It panned out. It just happened at the flip flop. It didn't happen at the zone. It happened at the flip flop. Now we made a fresh supply zone, fresh resistance level here, and that we might see this checkmark trade pan out in our favor again. So just waiting for our opportunity to get short. Nothing crazy. Just waiting for our opportunity to get short in the dollar CAD. Let it rip to the downside. That's basically all we're waiting for. So. I don't know. Were you finna say something, Gabe?
No. Just thank you. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us here today. Really appreciate your time, and we'll be doing this again next week. And you can see the previous recording on our YouTube channel to compare it with what we did this week, and vice versa. So we just want to have it be a running total of what we see going on in the marketplace, what we're going to be watching for, and the opportunities that await for us. So we'll see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.